Now, more than 2 days after her impeachment was confirmed by the Constitutional Court, Korea's disgraced former leader Park Geun-hye left the presidential office on Sunday evening and returned to her private residence in southern Seoul. Her first public appearance since her ousting was bright and calm as she greeted her supporters, but her last statement pointed to a ferocious legal battle ahead, saying the truth will be unveiled. Song Ji-sun has the details. And to delve deeper into what could be another turning point in the economic relations between the two countries, we turn to Dr. Kim In-cheol at Kotra's Foreign Investment Ombudsman. Thanks for being here, Doctor.
I'm glad to be here.
So a record number of business-related officials are traveling with President Park Geun-hye this time in hopes of creating new business opportunities in China. How do you evaluate the latest visit in terms of economic cooperation between the two countries? Currently, China is going through a sluggish growth, and with what strategy or measures can Korean companies eliminate such uncertainties? And the so-called street fashion of Korea that incorporates Seoul's overall pop culture driven by Korean celebrities and entertainment content is what many point to as the hotbed of Korean fashion. Chung Gu-ho, director of the ongoing Seoul Fashion Week, says Korean fashion has carved out a niche for itself. It's because of China's ever faster rising footing on the global financial stage, not to mention its economic size. Almost 3% of all international settlements are done with the yuan, while the rate was in the 0% range 5 years ago. Yes, especially when the Chinese currency being prized with the IMF's reserve asset status does not mean it's directly becoming a safe haven asset. And to become such asset like the US dollar, what many experts agree on is that the Chinese government has to be committed to a freer yuan and pour efforts in making their policies predictable and transparent. While whether the government will actually go through that process is uncertain and something that we have to keep an eye on. For now, it pledged to keep the yuan stable. The yuan's inclusion in the long term is a factor that will strengthen the currency, and with that, experts say Korea will be able to maximize the benefits coming from the bilateral free trade deal with China. Some say, though, the rising dependence on China could also have a negative impact on the Korean economy, as it could raise volatility in local markets. But because the IMF's decision is taking effect in actually in October of next year, we're not expecting any immediate impacts either on the Korean economy or the global economy. Daniel, there are now noticeably fewer families here at the Jindo Gymnasium as more bodies are being discovered and identified. The families are leaving to tend to their loved ones at Paekmokhang Harbor or to the hospital. As soon as families confirm that the newly discovered bodies are their children or their families, they rush out of the gymnasium looking very shaky and horrified. Yes, while the whole country is hopefully waiting for news of more survivors, hundreds of volunteer workers have gathered here at the Jindo Gymnasium to support the families here and encourage them to stay strong.